Greetings and good morning to you. So, say you have one or two people show up, they're brand new to role-playing. You have your typical 4 or 5 friends that are there who have played for 20 years. Well, here's 3 things that I find is very helpful in any game I've ever done. I've kind of developed these over the years. And, we all have house rules. But here's 3 things I do that pulls people together. And it doesn't bore the experienced players. And it also encourages inexperienced players. So, thing 1, atmosphere. Okay, so if you're playing at the dining room table, which is right next to the entertainment room or the television room, you have people in there watching Rambo or some kind of cheesy vampire TV series where they're a race of really interesting people and they're always having sex and sucking blood from one another, that kind of thing. You get all these noises. It's very distracting. People's coming in and out of the kitchen. All kind of things can happen. And so that's why atmosphere is very important. Now, you can go all out with atmosphere. And you can totally rearrange a room. You can totally make a room specific for gaming if you want. But regardless of how much you put into the atmosphere, one way to easily and very quickly get your atmosphere and the mood ready is background music. Background music. That's a great way to do it. Now, making terrain for your table and having miniatures, you have your little modular pieces, Wyloch, DM Scotty, the legendary Bill Allen. Those guys show you some great things that you can make for your table. And they're very good at that. And those things help you stay focused in the game. They help the players a lot. But even with all that aside, at a very minimum, bring in some background music. You don't have to have it really loud. It kind of helps, I feel, that if it's music that people are not familiar with. Because, for instance, you play your favorite 90s hits. That's just going to distract. People's going to be thinking about the times they used to cruise around and listen to that song, and these things are distracting. So keep it very neutral. And I suggest songs or music soundtracks are better for me, but use the things that people are not so familiar with, because that will kind of help them stay in the story of the game, in the game environment, in their mind. Okay, so that's 1. Oh yeah. All right, thing 2. If you have miniatures, if you have modular pieces, if you have terrain set up at your table, these things are fantastic. But mix it up. Mix it up. I feel that's where some people, at least for my personal taste and for the taste of the people that I've gamed with over the years, not mixing it up is kind of distracting in a way. By mixing it up, what I mean is, okay, you have your modular pieces in your terrain? Great. Don't use them for every scene. Don't rely on them for the entire game. Use your modular pieces. Use your battle map to draw things out. Work with the visuals, but don't rely on the visuals. Mix it up. Go back and forth from visuals to theater of the mind, then back to the physical props, back to theater of the mind. And if you're running the game, you'll pretty much have a sense of when it's best to do what. For instance, the classic tavern scene, you don't need to map all this out. Now, you may if it's an important scene, but again, that's to be determined by the DM. So go back and forth between the physical props and theater of the mind. An entire game of theater of the mind can be quite confusing. People can lose track of, well, did we turn left or right back there? No, we made left, then right. No, it was right, and left, or whatever. So that can be a little confusing. So there are times that theater of the mind, you can distance from that and go back to the physical props. Incorporate both into the game. Just kind of go back and forth. That way, for those who need the visuals more, they're there. For those who are fine without the visuals, you can take a break from that, and that will also pull the people that's not used to it into participation. Thing 3 Number 3 has 3 parts to it, and that is have your action, have your dialogue, your serious role-playing dialogue, that you have to speak in character, and have your problem solving. So that could be a puzzle, that could be clues to figure out who done it, that kind of thing. So if you do these 3 simple things, your odds are greatly enhanced of encouraging all experience levels of players to come together as one, whether they've been playing 20 years or 2 hours. So that's my advice.
Are you bloody insane?